An abundance of microplastics in oceans around the world is making its way up the food chain and into our fisheries.
An Otago University study has found microplastics in 75% of commercially caught wild fish in the South Pacific. Keisha Brownlee reports.
Fish for dinner, served with a side of plastic. A recent study found 75% of 155 commercially caught fish in the South Pacific, destined for human consumption, had ingested microplastics.
New Zealand's quite an isolated, relatively low populated country, so these findings are pretty significant.
That's because they're up there with the plastic pollution found in more densely populated countries.
Your fleece and your clothing can release fibres every time they're washed, so those just go straight from the wastewater down out into the ocean.
The fish were caught over 1 year,
indicating that plastic pollution is a persistent feature in the marine environment. It's not just a snapshot in time.
An average of 2.5 individual particles per fish were found, nearly all of them smaller than 5 millimetres. The prevalence of microplastics in water isn't new, but research into its impact on the food chain is, not only fish, but also humans.
There have been recent studies that have found microplastics in human blood and placenta, so we do know that they're there.
So, should you take fish off the menu?
Most of the fish that we consume or we buy from the supermarket is filleted, so we're not consuming the guts typically, which is where we found all these plastic particles.
However, there may be transfer of chemicals and nanoplastics into the muscle tissue of the fish, which you will be eating.
A sobering reminder that plastics in our oceans may end up on our plates. Keisha Brownlee, Newshub.